Automaker Ford and companies from South Korea are teaming up to build an EV battery materials plant in Quebec. The factory will be set up in Bécancour, Quebec, which is hoping to become an EV supply chain hub. CTV's Quebec Bureau Chief Genevieve Beauchemin joining us now from Montreal with the latest on this. Let's start with this big announcement and how big of a deal this is, Genevieve.
Well, this is a big deal in the sense that Quebec is saying that this does position the province to be one of the leaders in the green economy. So it does mean that for the province, it's a big deal. For Canada, it is as well, because of course there's a fight on to attract as many of the automotive plants to take part of the economy of the future for the electric vehicles. So having this plant here that is to take part in that chain is an important aspect of it. It does cost the governments quite a bit of money. Both Canada and Quebec have pitched in about $322 million each into this project, but they say it will mean there will be 345 jobs in Bécancour. They also say that this will be a key process, a key part in the supply chain for these EV batteries, of course, for, in this particular case, the Ford vehicles, particularly trucks. Now, one of the things, though, is that Bécancour, it's an even bigger deal for the city of Bécancour. It's this small city between Quebec and Montreal, really smack dab in the heart of Quebec. And it has managed over the past few months and few years to attract several automakers. For instance, GM made a very similar announcement last year about the city of Bécancour. There's other projects, other plants, other manufacturers that have also set up shop in that city in order to take part in that hub that they want to for the manufacture of EV batteries. And for that small town, it does mean what the Premier was saying, a lot of high quality jobs, well-paid jobs that will be opened up in that part of the province.
And Genevieve, talk to us a little bit more about what this is really going to mean for the area in Quebec where this is happening, because we've also seen Stellantis with its battery plants earlier this year in Ontario. There's also the Volkswagen plant. Talk to us a little bit more about the hopes here.
It's really interesting just how much Canada does want to take part, does want a big share of this particular market, and it's part of making the supply chain located in Canada. We've seen over the years of the pandemic, the idea of having the supply chain located in this country has become more valuable in many people's eyes. And it's also the idea that this is the transition towards a greener economy that they believe has to be implanted here in Canada, they say. So that is part of it's part of that initiative. It's part of that strategy that has been developing for some time. There was, of course, you talked about the Volkswagen announcement earlier, which was, a huge deal. This is not quite of the same scale as the Volkswagen announcement, not the same type of money, but still it is, as I say, 345 jobs in that part of Quebec. It's a big deal for the people in that region. And it's also, as I say, something that I was talking to people of the electric vehicle industry, talking about the fact that it does give people pride in the fact that they can have some pride in Quebec becoming a key player in this industry and perhaps encourage more people to move towards electric vehicles. That's what they hope.
Okay, CTV's Genevieve Beauchemin in Montreal for us. Thanks so much.